Well, did you get what you came for?
You could say that.
Sharon's pretty dear to you, isn't she?
When can I see her? Well, I mean, at least I'll be able to be near her, won't I?
You could be sent to another prison.
Oh, surely I could make a request to be sent to Wentworth rather than anywhere else.
Not unless you've got a very good excuse. The department's not likely to be impressed by your association with Sharon.
Well, I mean, it's a couple of weeks till my trial. I mean, at least I'll be able to be near her for a while, huh?
Judy, there are half a dozen wings at Wentworth. You could find yourself in any one of them. And even if you did find yourself in H Block, you probably wouldn't see too much of Sharon.
Well, why wouldn't I?
Look, this isn't a hotel. You can't just ring up and book the room that you want.
Yeah, but, I mean, you're the social worker, aren't you? You should be helping
I'll
me.
be helping all I can. Legal advice, counseling.
I don't want that. I just want to be near Sharon.
I'm afraid that's not up to you or me.
Well, thanks for your help.
I'm sorry, Judy. You'll have to wait for an escort.
I'm just going to have to keep my fingers crossed, aren't I, that we're put in the same wing.
Mrs. West, you say that Mrs. Williams had a black eye when she arrived on the night in question.
That's right.
Which eye?
The left one.
Thank you. That's all.
Your next witness.
Mrs. Elizabeth Birdsworth.
And you were present on the night in question?
Of course I was. It's my place of residence.
No one's disputing that. Were you present the whole time that Mrs. Williams and Mrs. Simpson were at your residence?
Yes, I was.
Did you observe anything about their physical appearance?
Well, Mrs. Williams was wearing a...
Did you notice anything unusual about her?
I'll say, Mrs. Williams had a whopper of a shiner.
Shiner?
A black eye. She looked as though she'd walked into the back of a truck.
And what eye was that, Mrs. Birdsworth?
That one. No, that one.
First you say the right eye, then the left.
I'm sorry, Your Worship.
Which eye, Mrs. Birdsworth?
I don't know, Your Honour. I was drunk on the night in question.
Thank you, Mrs. Birdsworth. That'll be all.
Oh, no, there's lots more I could tell you. I mean, I wasn't that drunk that I really
You may
didn't know...
step down now.
Oh.
Your next witness.
Miss Doreen Anderson.
You want to see me, Mrs. Davidson?
Judy Bryant.
What's the story?
Well, Bryant has been charged with possession of illegal drugs and has been remanded until her trial.
Police must have made short work of her.
Apparently, she made short work of herself. She made no pretense at innocence or ignorance and was charged almost immediately. It all seems a bit too fast somehow.
Yes, well, hopefully that's the end of our drug problem.
Just been talking to Judy Bryant. Were you aware that she was offered bail and that she refused to sign a surety to appear in court on the charges?
Yes, rather odd, isn't it?
No, not really. That's exactly what she wanted all along, to be put inside.
Why?
To be with Sharon Gilmore.
Oh.
She was afraid that Gilmore would find herself another lover.
Well, whatever her reason for being arrested, we still have the problem of accommodating her. Would you see that she's put in with Simpson and Williams?
You can't do that.
Why? You have some objection?
Well, the woman's a lesbian, Mrs. Davidson. You can't put her in with those two.
She came in here to be with Gilmore, not two women she doesn't even know.
Bryant is waiting in reception, Mr. Fletcher. Would you tell the duty officer what she has to do?
God, can't you think of nothing better to do?
I don't suppose you'd have any more nail polish, would you?
Oh, you need your bloody head rid. What about Judy?
What about Judy? We're in here. She's out there.
Yeah, but after that dope rap, she could end up in here.
She could, but you don't have to worry about the old Jude. She'd be able to raise bail.
God, the way you talk about it, it's like she's your mum or something. The way she looks after you.
Yeah, well, she is very protective. She's She's not going to let anything happen to her little girl. I remember one night we went to this dance, right? Judy's really into gay lib. She was working the late shift driving, so I got there a bit early. I started dancing with this other chick. Judy arrives, sees us cheek to cheek and lays into it.
Remind me never to dance with you.
That's what she's like. Mild as milk, really. But when it comes to the crutch, she's just...
This way, please. And remember, your beds must be made before breakfast.
Sounds like a new arrival.
You'll be sharing with Simpson and
Not with us, I hope.
Is this Sharon Gilmore's block?
Judy!
Adams, Caffin, Dolan. Well, come on, hurry up. Gilmore, Latham. Gilmore, Latham.
Present, Miss Bennett.
G'day, Jude.
Surprised to see me?
Do you want to stick around, Gilmore?
Thanks for the offer, Miss Bennett. Catch up with you later.
Smith, O'Connell. Lift your feet, O'Connell.
Oh, well. A new villain joins our happy home. Got a name?
Judy Bryant. Who are you?
Bree Smith, if it means anything to you. Queen Bee. And don't you forget it. Be seeing you.
What happens next?
Make yourself at home. You've got plenty of time. Well, looks like you're going to get yours, Gilmore, one way or another.
Looks to me like you might have met your match, Bee.
Ha, ha, ha.
Out of my way.
Move. Oh, there's another one that's wetting her britches. I reckon this'll just about be the end of Gilmore's career.
Shut up, Smith.
Your name is Doreen May Anderson, is that correct?
That's right.
Also known as Debbie Ray?
Yeah.
And you live at the halfway house for ex-prisoners at Elizabeth Street?
Yeah, that's right.
And in 1976, you were sentenced to a term of 4 years for forgery.
Your worship, I object. This is irrelevant to the case in hand.
Yeah, 4 years for forgery.
Objection sustained. There is no need to answer that question, Miss Anderson.
You were present on the night in question?
Yeah.
I see. And Mrs. Birdsworth was there at the time?
Yeah, of course she was.
So she would have seen exactly what you saw.
Oh, well, not exactly.
How do you mean, not exactly?
Well, she was drunk, Your Worship.
Is Mrs. Birdsworth often drunk?
Your worship, I object. Mrs. Birdsworth's habits have no bearing on this case.
Well, she just got out, Your Worship, and she'd been in there for over 20 years, and then they found out that she was innocent. Of course she had a drink. Wouldn't you, after all that?
No more questions.
You may step down, Miss Anderson. Mr. Gilbertson.
I beg leave to call my final witness, Michael Simpson, the husband of Mrs. Carolyn Simpson.
Smith!
Look, what are we going to do? She's got all the muscle now and we've got none.
If you're worried about Bee thumping me, forget it. Judy'd soon make short work of her.
Oh, yeah, it's all right for you, innit? What about me? Between the devil and the deep blue, if Bee don't get me, then
You're not worried about Judy, are you?
Oh, no. Look, if she lagged on me for the drugs, then she's out to get me, isn't she?
I never thought you'd go soft, Chrissy.
Don't tell me the greatest love story ever told's cracking up.